friends, it's Carolina with alwaysexpectmore.com, and today I'm here with another awesome video. You ready? Let's get started. As a quilter, an accurate 1/4 inch is essential. It's something that we're always working towards, always working on to get that accurate 1/4 inch, because when you cut a 2.5 inch strip, you want it to be 2 inches finished in your quilt. And if it's not, it makes everything else out of whack. So cutting things accurately and then stitching them accurately are really the two foundations, or the two pillars, or the two cruxes of having great pieced quilts. So part of that is using a 1/4 inch foot. A 1/4 inch foot is a great way to help get everything lined up. This is my 1/4 inch foot with a guide that I use on my Baby Lock. This is my Baby Lock Aria. And I got a new 1/4 inch foot from Baby Lock that is a little bit different, and I'm going to show you how this works. I wanted to show you the box that this 1/4 inch quilting foot came in because it has some information on there that is super handy for us to know. So first, it says that it's for certain groups, and that has to do with whether it's a high shank or low shank machine. It'll let you know if this will fit on your Baby Lock machine. And it tells us that this is a 1/4 inch quilting foot that is made by Baby Lock. And on the back, we can actually see the foot, and it'll have some information in there. Now, how do you know what group your machine is? Well, if you have the accessories guide, which your dealer will have, or you can find online, and I will link down to this below, you'll know what groups your machines are in. So I have mine highlighted. My Aria is in group B, and my Jubilant is in group G. So when I look at this foot will work on both B and G machines. This foot will absolutely work on both of my machines, which is awesome. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this foot. Now there are two ways to take a foot off a sewing machine. One is to take off this entire piece, or we've got this little quick swap here. For this foot, it's actually the quick swap. I didn't need to take everything off. So I'll go ahead and put this back on. Because you don't need to unscrew everything, you can just pop this one right off. And I'll open up my little accessory box, grab this foot, and I can pop this one. Yes, I can. There we go. Now I have that one popped on. So it's that easy to take them on and off. And now the question is, what is the difference between these two feet? They're both a 1/4 inch. They both have a guide. There are a couple differences between these two. The first that you're going to notice is that this has a wider opening in the front. So this opening in the front is going to make it easier for me to see where my seam is going to exactly end up as I'm stitching. So this is really great for when you're doing foundation paper piecing, and after you have made your foundation paper pieced shapes and you've trimmed them down to the right size, and that paper is still on there to help you line everything up as you sew everything together, you'll be able to see that foundation paper piecing line go right down through there. So that is perfect. It's also great anytime you just want to be able to have more visibility. This foot is the ESG QGF. And this foot is the BLSO QGF. So QGF is going to be quilting guide foot, I'm going to guess. And this one is ESG, this one is BLSO. So this ESG has a guide, so does the BLSO. What's interesting is that this has this little button here, this crazy what is it doing button. And the purpose of this button is this is a self-leveling button for when you are working on bulky fabric. So first, let me put back on the ESG. This is my foot that I've been using all the time for piecing. I may be switching more over to this one. We'll see. I'm going to make sure my machine is properly threaded. And I just have a couple strips of fabric that I'll put right sides together, as if I'm piecing these for a project. If you're a pinner, you can use pins. I'm not a pinner. You won't see a lot of pins in my sewing. Okay. So as you can see, I line up the fabric with that guide. And I stitch no problem. Nice, even, pretty quilting, piecing. I'm gonna swap off this, put on the BLSO QGF, and I will have the names down in the description box of this video, so no problems. There we go. I've got everything all lined up. And I definitely have more visibility in this space. And they both make really pretty seams. So this self-leveling button on the back is something that you'll use when you have really bulky fabrics, when you're going from something that's not so bulky to something that's bulkier. And I'll link down below to a video that shows you exactly how handy this is. I don't do a ton with bulky fabrics, but this would be great when you're adding on purse handles, when you are working with big fabrics like denim or with canvas. And that's when this is going to come in handy. So what's going to happen is what you'll see as you're coming up against something that's really bulky, this part of your foot is going to lift up. And so what you can do is you can level out your foot and you push this in place, the self-leveling button. And that's going to lift up this foot. And then when you're back on more flat ground, it'll release. And I'm going to show you the back where this works is that this little lever in the self-leveling button, this little pin, fits right in this groove here, and that's what holds it in place, is right in this groove. And the tension of being sandwiched in there, let me get this back on, there we go. The tension of being on fabric is what's going to keep that self-leveling button in place. And as soon as there isn't fabric underneath it, it'll let go. Pretty nifty, right? So there you go. That is the ESG QGF. This is the 1/4 inch quilting foot with guide, and the BLSO QGF, 1/4 inch quilting foot with guide. Wasn't that fun? Make sure you've given this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below, and make sure you're subscribed to this channel for all of my crafting updates. See you right here real soon.